All right, everyone get ready, because today we're going deep,
Geez.
like subatomic deep,
Oh.
into the world of neutrons.
Go
You
get
know
it.
those tiny particles we all learned about in school?
Alongside protons.
Right, alongside protons.
Yeah.
Turns out they're way more complex and interesting than they seemed back then.
Definitely more interesting than I thought back then.
I know, me too. And that's why we're diving into this article from the Thomas Jefferson National Accelerator Facility.
Oh, cool.
It's really got me questioning everything I thought I knew about basic physics.
That's the thrill of science, though, right?
It really is.
Always something new to discover.
Yeah, even in things we think are fundamental.
Like neutrons.
Good neutrons.
Despite being everywhere, they've always been kind of a puzzle.
So true.
Yeah.
I remember drawing those diagrams of the atom back in school.
Oh, yeah.
Nucleus in the middle, electrons whizzing around.
Yep.
But this article is basically saying we're just now getting a good look inside the neutron itself.
Exactly. And the reason why neutrons are so much harder to study than protons comes down to their electric charge.
Oh, that's right.
Protons have a positive charge, which makes them easy to manipulate and study and experiment.
Makes sense.
Neutrons, on the other hand, are neutral,
Okay.
so they don't interact as easily.
So it's kind of like...
It's like trying to study a ghost.
Ooh.
They're there, but they don't leave much of a trace.
Okay, so it's trickier but not impossible, right?
Right.
Because scientists did manage to look inside these neutron ghosts.
They did.
Yeah.
How did they pull that off?
Yeah.
Well, they used a technique called deeply virtual Compton scattering,
Okay.
DVCS for short.
Got it.
Now imagine playing a game of billiards, but on a subatomic scale.
Whoa.
Scientists are essentially shooting electrons at nucleons.
Okay.
That's both protons and neutrons.
Mm-hmm.
And observing what happens when they collide.
So it's like a high-stakes game of pool where the cue ball is an electron and the neutron is like the 8-ball. I like that analogy.
By analyzing the particles that scatter off, especially the photons, those little packets of light,
Right.
scientists can piece together a picture of what's happening inside the nucleon.
Okay.
Here's the catch.
Uh-oh.
Neutrons, with their lack of charge, scatter in a very specific way
Okay.
that was practically impossible to detect until recently.
Well, they had this powerful technique,
Right.
but they couldn't see the results because the neutrons were basically bouncing off at an awkward angle.
Yeah, it's like trying to watch a tennis match with a huge obstruction right in the middle of the court.
Perfect analogy.
And that's where Sylvia Nicolai, a researcher at the French National Center for Scientific Research, comes in.
Okay.
Back in 2007, she spearheaded the development of a revolutionary tool,
Oh, wow.
the Central Neutron Detector.
Cool.
Think of it like building a special telescope designed to see those neutrons scattering at that specific angle.
Okay, so they needed the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
This was back in 2007. Did it really take over a decade to build this detector?
It did.
Wow.
It highlights how sometimes scientific progress requires not just brilliant ideas,
Yeah.
but also a ton of patience.
Yeah, for sure.
Building and calibrating such a sensitive piece of equipment takes time, especially when you're working at the subatomic level.
Right.
And installing it at the Thomas Jefferson National Accelerator Facility was no small feat either.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So years of work,
Uh-huh.
a dedicated team.
Yep.
And finally, they have this amazing detector that can actually see inside a neutron.
Yes.
That's got to be a pretty amazing feeling.
Absolutely.
Like finally unlocking a door you've been staring at for years.
Exactly.
So this new tool opened up a whole new realm of possibilities for studying neutrons.
Yes, it did.
But of course, it wouldn't be a true scientific journey without a few unexpected bumps in the road, would it?
Oh, of course not.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, the detector worked perfectly,
Okay.
but the data they collected was a bit messy. There was an unexpected amount of contamination from protons,
Protons.
which threatened to muddle up the results.
Oh.
It's like trying to listen to a quiet whisper in a crowded room.
Yeah.
You need to find a way to filter out the noise.
So how did they solve that problem?
Well, thankfully, no decade of waiting this time.
Yep, good.
This is where Adam Hobart, a researcher on the project, stepped in
All right.
and leveraged the power of machine learning.
Machine learning.
Think of it like having a superpowered noise-canceling headset for your data.
Okay.
Using sophisticated algorithms, he was able to sift through the data, identify and remove the proton noise, and isolate the clear signal coming from the neutrons.
Wow. It's amazing to think how artificial intelligence is now helping us make breakthroughs in nuclear physics.
It is pretty amazing.
So we've got this amazing new detector.
Yep.
We've tackled the data challenges.
I did.
And now we're finally ready to peek inside the neutron.
I'm excited.
Me too. But how do we even begin to make sense of what we're seeing at such a tiny scale?
That's where a rather complex but incredibly useful concept called generalized pattern distributions comes in,
Okay.
or GPDs.
GPDs, got it.
Imagine you have a beautifully wrapped present.
Okay.
You can shake it, weigh it, even X-ray it,
Uh-huh.
but you still don't know exactly what's inside.
So the neutron is like a mysterious present.
Yes.
And GPDs are like the ultimate gift-wrapping decoder.
You got it.
I love it.
GPDs are essentially a mathematical translator that takes the raw data from DVCS experiments
Okay.
and converts it into information about the internal structure of the neutron.
So we're not just looking at a blurry image of the inside of a neutron.
Right.
We're actually getting detailed information about the building blocks within those building blocks.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It is.
So tell me more about these GPDs.
So these GPDs aren't just one size fits all.
Okay.
There are actually 4 different types, each
Yeah.
providing a unique piece of the puzzle.
So it's like having a set of specialized tools
Yes.
to examine the neutron. What kind of insights did these tools reveal?
Well, the neutron measurements allowed scientists to access a particularly elusive type of GPD called GPDE.
GPDE.
This one is crucial for understanding how the spins of quarks and gluons contribute to the overall spin of the neutron.
Hold on, spins.
Yes. Spins?
Like, are these tiny particles actually spinning around?
They are. It's a bit mind-boggling, but at the subatomic level, particles have this intrinsic property called spin.
Okay.
And just like a spinning top contributes to its overall motion, the spins of quarks and gluons contribute to the overall spin of the neutron.
Okay, so each of these tiny particles is like a mini spinning top inside the neutron.
Pretty much.
But why is understanding their spin so important?
Because for decades, scientists have been grappling with what's called the nucleon spin crisis.
Nucleon spin crisis.
They knew that protons and neutrons have spin,
Okay.
but when they added up the spins of all the quarks and gluons inside, the numbers didn't add up.
So it's like they were missing some crucial pieces of the puzzle. And that's where GPDE comes in.
Yes.
By measuring it, scientists were able to get a much clearer picture of how the spins of quarks and gluons actually contribute to the overall spin of the neutrons.
It's like finally finding those missing pieces and seeing how they fit into the puzzle.
That's huge.
It is.
So this GPDE is like the Rosetta Stone for understanding how the spinning of these tiny quarks actually influences the spin of the whole neutron.
Yes.
It's a huge piece of the puzzle scientists have been wrestling with for decades.
For sure.
But wait, there's more, right?
There is.
Because I remember something about flavors of quarks in this article.
You're right.
Okay.
Not only were scientists able to peek inside the neutron and study its spin, but they also managed to distinguish between the contributions of different types of quarks.
Different types.
Called up quarks and down quarks.
Up quarks and down quarks. So this is like being able to pinpoint the specific flavors of quarks inside the neutron.
Exactly. It's like looking at a bowl of fruit and being able to tell the difference between an apple and an orange, even though they're both fruit.
Okay, so that's what flavor separation is.
Yes.
And it's a big deal because...
It's a big deal because it's incredibly difficult to achieve in these types of experiments.
Wow.
Being able to distinguish between the contributions of up and down quarks means we can now study their individual behavior within the neutron.
So we've gone from barely being able to detect a neutron to actually being able to differentiate between the different flavors of quarks inside it.
It's a testament to how far we've come in our understanding of nuclear physics.
For sure.
And the really exciting part is that this is just the beginning.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
These findings open up a whole new avenue for research and have the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the universe.
I can't wait to hear about what this means for the bigger picture, so we'll dive into that.
We'll dive right in.
Perfect.
No breaks needed when you're this deep in the neutron.
Let's keep exploring. All right, so we've cracked open the neutron, we've seen its spinning quarks, and we've even tasted its different flavors.
We have.
But what does it all mean?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is.
The million-dollar question.
Yeah, like what does understanding this tiny particle tell us about the bigger picture?
Well, the answer is potentially a lot.
Okay, I write the sound of that.
Remember how we talked about the strong force?
One of the fundamental forces of nature?
Right, one of the fundamental forces of nature.
Yeah.
It's the strong force that's responsible for holding quarks together inside protons and neutrons.
Right, it's like the super glue of the subatomic world.
The superglue?
But how does this new research on neutrons help us understand the strong force better?
So think of it this way. Imagine you're trying to understand how a complex machine works,
Okay.
but you can only see its outer shell.
Right.
Now imagine you suddenly have the tools to open it up and examine all the intricate gears and mechanisms inside.
Oh, I see.
That's what these new neutron findings are doing for our understanding of the strong force.
So we're not just looking at the outside of the machine anymore.
Yep.
We're actually seeing how all the gears and levers work together.
Exactly.
That's got to give us some pretty important insights.
Absolutely. By understanding how quarks and gluons are arranged and interact inside the neutron, we can start to build more accurate models of how the strong force operates.
It's like having a detailed blueprint of the machine instead of just a rough sketch.
A much more detailed blueprint.
And a better understanding of the strong force could have implications way beyond just neutrons, right?
Exactly. The strong force isn't just confined to the nucleus of an atom.
Right.
It plays a crucial role in the formation and evolution of stars, galaxies, and even the universe itself.
Whoa, hold on. Are you saying that by studying these tiny particles, we could potentially unlock secrets about how the universe works on a grand scale?
It might sound incredible, but that's the potential we're talking about.
Wow.
A deeper understanding of the strong force could revolutionize our understanding of astrophysics, cosmology, and even the search for new physics beyond what we currently know.
Okay, my mind is officially blown.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, we started with a tiny particle and ended up talking about the origins of the universe.
That's how it goes sometimes.
I guess so. It's like finding a secret passage in your backyard that leads to another dimension.
It's a wonderful analogy.
And it highlights the interconnectedness of science. Even the smallest discoveries can have ripple effects that extend far beyond their initial scope.
They really can.
It's a good reminder that even when we think we know the basics, there's always so much more to learn.
Always more to learn.
But this journey into the neutron wasn't just about the science, was it?
No, it was.
It was also about the incredible dedication and perseverance of the scientists involved.
Absolutely. This breakthrough was a true testament to human ingenuity and collaboration.
Remember Sylvia Nicolai?
Yes.
Who spearheaded the development of the Central Neutron Detector?
I do. She described it as a lifetime achievement.
Wow, that's powerful. I mean, think about it. She dedicated years, probably decades, to building this incredible tool. That ultimately allowed us to see inside the neutron for the first time.
A lifetime achievement.
It speaks volumes about the passion and commitment that drive scientific progress.
For sure.
It's a reminder that breakthroughs don't always happen overnight. They often require years of meticulous work, unwavering dedication, and a willingness to overcome countless obstacles.
Yeah, lots of long nights in the lab.
And in this case, they even had to enlist the help of artificial intelligence to untangle their data.
Right. It's a beautiful example of how different fields can come together to push the boundaries of what's possible.
It truly is, and I think that's one of the most important takeaways from this whole story.
What's that?
Science thrives on collaboration, creativity, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So where do we go from here?
Where do we go?
What are the next steps in this neutron adventure?
Well, these findings have opened up a whole new avenue for research scientists are now eager to conduct further experiments, refine their models, and explore the implications of these discoveries for other areas of physics.
It's like we've just scratched the surface of what we can learn from neutrons, and who knows what other mysteries are waiting to be uncovered.
That's the exciting part. We're still in the early stages of exploring the inner world of neutrons, but with each new discovery, we get closer to understanding the fundamental forces that shape our universe.
This whole deep dive has really changed the way I think about neutrons.
Oh, yeah.
They're not just these tiny inert particles anymore. They're complex, dynamic, and full of surprises.
They really are quite fascinating.
And I think that's a valuable lesson for all of us.
What's that?
Never underestimate the power of curiosity and the potential for discovery, even in the things we think we already understand.
You never know what you might find.
So if we can uncover so much from something as seemingly simple as a neutron, imagine what other secrets the universe is hiding.
Now you're getting it.
But before we get too carried away with cosmic speculation, let's bring it back down to Earth for a moment.
Okay.
What does all of this mean for you, our listener? Why should you care about what's happening inside a neutron?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I think at its core, this story is about the power of human ingenuity and the importance of asking questions.
I like that.
It's a reminder that even the most fundamental aspects of our universe are still being explored and understood.
It's inspiring to think that there are still so many mysteries out there waiting to be solved. And who knows, maybe one of our listeners will be inspired to make their own groundbreaking discovery someday.
I hope so. The world needs more curious minds, eager to explore the unknown and push the boundaries of human understanding.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
To think that something as small as a neutron could contain so much complexity
Yeah,
and hold such profound implications for our understanding of the universe.
it really makes you think.
It does. It really makes you realize that there's a whole world of wonder hidden beneath the surface of everyday life.
We often go about our days without giving much thought to the intricate workings of the universe at the smallest scales. But when you stop to consider the incredible dance of particles and forces
Yeah.
that make up everything around us,
Right.
it's hard not to be filled with a sense of awe.
Totally. I remember back in school learning about atoms and thinking it was all so straightforward.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Protons, neutrons, electrons, done.
Simple.
But this deep dive has shown me just how much I didn't know.
And that's the beauty of science, isn't it?
I know, it's amazing.
It's a never-ending journey of discovery.
It really is.
What we thought we knew yesterday might be completely overturned by a new finding tomorrow.
Exactly.
And that's what keeps it so exciting.
It's like exploring a vast, uncharted territory. Every new discovery opens up new vistas, new questions, new possibilities.
An endless possibility.
And in the case of neutron research, those possibilities extend far beyond the realm of particle physics.
We've talked about how a deeper understanding of the strong force could revolutionize our understanding of astrophysics and cosmology,
That's right.
potentially leading to breakthroughs in our models of star formation, galaxy evolution, and even the origins of the universe itself.
It's mind-boggling to think that something we learned about in high school could have such profound implications for our understanding of the cosmos.
It is pretty mind-boggling.
And it all started with the simple act of asking what's inside a neutron.
The power's curiosity.
That's it.
It's the driving force behind all scientific progress.
And it's not just limited to professional scientists, is it?
No, not at all.
Everyone has the capacity to be curious, to ask questions,
Yes.
to explore the world around them with a sense of wonder.
Exactly.
You know, this whole conversation has really got me thinking about all the other mysteries out there waiting to be unraveled.
Like what?
What other seemingly simple things in our universe might hold the keys to unlocking profound truths?
That is a great question.
Maybe it's the intricate dance of molecules in a living cell?
Hmm.
Or the patterns of energy flow in a complex ecosystem?
Interesting.
Or maybe it's something we haven't even imagined yet.
The possibilities are truly endless.
They are, and that's what makes this journey of exploration so captivating.
I agree.
There's always something new to discover, something new, to learn something new to marvel at.
And that's what I hope our listeners take away from this deep dive.
Me too.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, to challenge assumptions, to delve deeper into the things that spark your curiosity.
It's a great advice.
You never know what amazing discoveries you might make.
So to all our fellow knowledge seekers out there, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep pushing the boundaries of what's known.
The universe is full of wonders waiting to be uncovered, and you might just be the one to find them.
That's it for our deep dive into the fascinating world of neutrons.
Until next time.
Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and stay hungry for knowledge.